Well, howdy friends. Here's an exciting video of how to make a graph using Excel. Woohoo! Sounds like a party to me. Well, some people have had trouble with this, and I thought it'd be a good idea just to do this real quick for you guys. So you might recall in the lab we were looking at what is the relationship between volume and mass of a liquid. In this case it was the red mystery liquid, which was isopropyl alcohol. And I'm using Excel and Macintosh, so it may be a little bit different on your PC. And when you do graphing on Excel, whatever's in this first column here will end up on the x-axis, and this will be on the y-axis, which is what we want because we want volume to be the independent variable. You knew how much you were putting in there, but you didn't know what the mass was going to be, so that would be the dependent variable. So what you do is you highlight that area, which I did, and then we're going to try to graph it. And up here we click on charts where it turned green there, because charts is a fancy way of saying graphs. Now there's a lot of graphs up here that we can choose from. Bubble graph, which I don't know what you use it for, donuts, and line graph. Now you'd think line graph would be what we want, but if I click on line graph, what we see here is when we graph is two lines, and it really doesn't make any sense. We usually want one graph with a relationship, so I click that, get rid of that. What we're going to use is the XY scatter graph. That's the one you want to use. So if I click on here, you'll see, there we go, we got this nice straight line, which you would expect in this case. Now series, get rid of that because it's kind of useless. We don't really need that. And I say, whoo, we're done. But there's a couple things wrong here so far. And that is, the line's great, but there's no units measurements here. So what you want to do is you want to go to the view where it says formatting palette. If I click on that, this nice little formatting palette shows up. The other way I can do it too is by clicking on toolbox here. It just opens up and comes back again. But what we want to do is three things. We want to label the graph, and we also want to label the units. So right here where it says chart options, the first thing that comes up by default, it says titles. And I can go to chart title, and I can call this, let's say, volume versus mass. And there we go. Or volume versus mass. I like volume too. And I can change it over there, or I can change it here. It doesn't really matter. So that's kind of cool. A couple different ways you can do that. Then we go to horizontal axis. And the horizontal axis, of course, is going to be our volume. So I'll type in volume. Actually, I'll type in volume. And this will be milliliters. And then I'm going to go to the vertical axis, which is going to be mass, M-A-S-S. And we got a little G there because we did it in grams. And hey, we're done. Now the other thing you could do, if you don't know how to put these things on, you can do the old-fashioned thing. Print this graph out and then just use a pen or pencil and write on here volume versus mass, and here volume, or you write red volume, mystery, mass, volume, whatever. And you're pretty much done. You can also click on it and get really fancy and change colors and all that kind of stuff until it looks really nauseous. I'll just put blue in there. I don't like that too much, so I'll leave it there. And that's pretty much it. The only other really tricky thing, which you really don't have to do, but if you click on the graph itself, the actual line, click on the line, see how it lightens up here. I go up on top, and well, we won't worry about that, I guess, but you can actually put in the slope. On the where it says chart, you can add trend line, which opens up another window. And under options, I can actually click display the equation on the graph, and it actually gives you the equation. And if you guys have done y equals mx plus b, that 0.6847 is the slope of the graph, which coincidentally is the density of the material. So that's kind of cool too. Hope this helps, and I think I'll stop it now.